Yeah, it's going to the 10th of December, Tuesday, and we're gonna be taking a look at the market, what kind of opportunities we can find. Let's take a look at some of the government's press releases. After the major overhaul of planning committee to get Britain building. Previously, we were taking a look at that as of now, perhaps 30,000 or so. 30,000, right? And and 6 months have passed recently. 30,000 in 6 months, and the target is 1.5 million. So that's where things should be, right? But anyway, planning. It's a. Anyway, it's government doing the best. Planning decisions are said to be fast-tracked in sweeping overhaul of local planning committee as part of new measures to tackle a housing crisis. Uh, Strengthening decision-making powers for planning to speed up the approval process, ending needless delays and all uncertainty. Scope of applications that comply with local development plans to bypass planning committee entirely. And the last point would be comes ahead of updates of England's most important planning rulebook of National Planning Policy Framework later this week. As part of the government's plan for change, rebuilding Britain in decade of national renewal and all supporting mm, delivery of the 1.5 million homes milestone. That the planning decisions are set to be fast-tracked in a sweeping overhaul of local planning committees as part of new measures to set out by the government to stimulate economic growth and or tackle the housing crisis. As set out in the plan for change, the government is fully focused on unlocking economic growth across the country. To support this, the Deputy Prime Minister, let's keep name, has set out the plans to speed up planning process and support better decision making in the system. Okay? When it comes to on the local level, not necessarily central government, what most likely we're taking a look at. On the local level, if there would be councils which would propose their budgets, and people can potentially offer feedback with regards to those budgets. Perhaps there might be something that people might be able to take part in, but again, most likely everyone knows everything, right? Everyone knows everything, but the targets are, as of now, could always be better, I guess. Anyway. As set out in the plan for change, the government is fully focused on unlocking economic growth across the country. To support this, the deputy, set out the plans to speed up planning process and support better decision making in the system. Under the new plans to modernize planning approval process, applications that comply with the local development plans could bypass planning committee entirely to tackle chronic uncertainty, unacceptable delays, and unnecessary waste of time and or resources. The measure will see a national scheme of delegation introduced, the creation of a streamlined committee for strategic development and all mandatory training for planning committee members. Under a new plan, okay. Local planning officers will also have enhanced decision-making role of implementing agreed plan policy. The change will mean greater certainty to house builders that good quality scheme aligned with already agreed local development plans will be approved in a timely manner to get spades in the ground. Okay, sure. With it, kickstarting economic growth and raising living standards in every part of the country, putting money back in the pockets of working people. I don't know. What I'm saying is, then plans were at the time were being discussed, right? Some people who've been try this process already and they have done it. They already knew where the problems are gonna be, and it was told about, right? I'm just saying, everyone knew this is what's gonna happen. Everyone knew 6 months ago. So what happened? We just lost 6 months. We just waited 6 months. Government made decisions. People opposing party told about those errors, and now 6 months later, take a look at what we have is different framework alongside the proposed reforms, and the government in this week expected to confirm sweeping change for national planning policy framework following consultation launch in July, right? Measures set out in a working paper will see views from a range of planning, housing, and local governments experts before finalizing proposal deal for planning committee. The government will then publish formal public consultation of those detailed proposals to coincide with the introduction of a planning infrastructure bill next year. The government will also work closely with the sector to implement any changes from the paper. The first in series of working papers aimed at informing policy development for the bill. The proposed reform of planning committee sits alongside the overall increase in government spending on housing announced in the budget, which will raise to 5 billion next year. This includes 500 million in the new funding for affordable homes programs to support efforts in delivering tens of thousands of new affordable and no social homes across the country. In addition, as a part of efforts for Great Britain building again, the government has already there's a, there's a great things that government is doing right. That's important to mention as well as there's a lot of smart people there. There's a lot of smart people and they do know what they're doing, kind I guess. But there's a entire process can be very complex. Anyway, perhaps more transparency would be great, more transparency, but then there would be a lot of public scrutiny, right? Transparency would be great, but public scrutiny, and perhaps that would speed up process when it would be highlighted who and what and who is doing what, right? Anyway, this is a quick feedback. Let's progress. Let's take a look at the next article. Let's take a look at next press release, something that will be published yesterday. UK and US announced first joint project in fusion energy innovation. UK and US launch 40.5 million joint fusion project will. I don't know if I should promote any of those projects myself, and perhaps others are disappointed about performance of set targets and people who are working there. They couldn't accomplish anything when it comes to fusion energy. Perhaps there's many reasons why that happened. We're not touching on those reasons why. We're just touching on those that people were hired to do it, and they had to build enough interest in some of those projects and find many companies who would like to engage with them, and they couldn't accomplish that. But entire energy sector will be very important, and it seems that they cannot do it. I don't know, perhaps there might be a lot of partnerships that haven't been highlighted at this point. That when in this article we're discussing UK and US, perhaps there's other governments as well that no one's discussing, perhaps. So the entire subject is very complex, and for people who had done enough research to understand the entire subject, then advanced clean energy technology that will unlock near unlimited clean power. Sure, sure. Perhaps if we need to put together a show of that someone is doing something, this is how it looks like. Anyway, the new project is straight in UK and US partnership with on fusion energy. Key steps towards unlocking near unlimited clean power. And the last point would be technology to straighten energy security and all clean to create the clean energy. I mean, the entire subject is very complex, but anyway, create new jobs, right? That will be important. A major project to help develop cutting-edge fusion energy has been agreed between US and UK in partnership with UK-based company. Again, well, let's keep the name. Boosting UK's mission to become clean energy superpower. Okay, it should be a target, but again, it might be entire subject might be more complex, right? The first of the kind project between both governments will be backed by 40.5 million in advanced lithium research, driving it's getting things are going downhill very fast, driving progress towards commercialization, fusion energy, and more technology that could generate near unlimited supply of clean energy for families and businesses. Fusion works by combining two forms of hydrogen and heating them at extreme temperatures, releasing vast amount of energy. This project leverages funding from US into UK supply chains and now grow high quality jobs. The jobs will start in 2025 at, let's skip the names, facility. It will focus on enhancing the efficiency and durability of plasma facing components, a critical challenge in unlocking fusion potential. This is the first joint project since UK and US announced the Fusion Energy Partnership in November 2023. It underscores the UK's leadership in fostering public-private collaboration to accelerate fusion energy development and technology poised to revolutionize clean energy. Intentions are great, but when it comes to having access to some of that technology, all these kind of things, as well as I'm not entirely sure what they're actually gonna be doing with that amount of money, and I don't think anybody knows what they're gonna be doing with that amount of money. Since we take a look at lithium potentially that would be energy storage, right? It's not necessarily production, so they would start from storage instead of production of energy. I don't know. Let's take a look at the next article. Let's take a look at the next article. Since it has been published some time ago, but I thought it might be worth taking a look at, since that will be a new era for coal authority, which has potentially became mining remediation authority, right? Names have changed, and perhaps priorities of the people working within authority has changed as well. But the changes better reflected the organization's 24/7 role of manage the effects of historical mining in England, Scotland, and Wales, right? So we still take a look at energy sector. It's just that UK had closed last coal factory, how they were producing energy from coal, and UK potentially shifting away from coal. But while we're doing it, perhaps we still selling coal to other governments, right? They might dig it and they might sell it to other governments, right? Coal Authority today has changed name of Mining Remediation Authority. This better reflects our organization's 24/7 role of managing the effects of historical mining in England, Scotland, and Wales, as it works to seek low carbon opportunities from the mining heritage of the future. The change has been approved by the Department of Energy Security and Net Zero. The Coal Authority celebrates 30 years of frontline delivery of the 31st of October 2024, and the statutory responsibility of the mining remediation authorities will not change, as it continues to have primary responsibilities for managing the coal assets and all legacy of defined as the Coal Industry Act 1994, including public safety and all subsidence and all information safe development of growth across Great Britain. Overall, it's great, as well as a principle of how we're looking to auction some of those resources. Perhaps that will be a lot of opportunities of how entire sector can earn more money. Auctioning, perhaps a lot of governments are doing a similar process already, not necessarily with coal, but with gas and oil and all those kind of things, right? The new name reflects wider work already delivered on metal mine pollution prevention and no tip safety and no increased focus on environmental remediation and on mine water treatment, and work to find low carbon opportunities for communities such as mine water heat from the national's assets. Okay, okay. Great, great. If you're doing, I don't know, we can reach out and say hi, see perhaps that they might need some assistance with anything, as well as there might be a lot of opportunities, if not right now, in the future, when it comes to different processes and something perhaps government is looking at and adapting, right? Let's close on that. Thanks for watching. See you next one.